how we came to Stony Brook, and a way of actually fostering this course. Sue and I went to this little conference, and we met this guy named Stephen Schultz, who did this little tiny news literacy lesson and blew us away. We heard about the Institute, and we came out here. When we came out here, we just walked up that main path, and Sue and I were talking to each other, and we were bowled over by the whole Summer Institute. And we knew that it was something we wanted to do. It was actually something we needed to do. And we took it back to Nassau Community College. Now, all of you have had about 2 days to get over the fact that we actually have a reading department there. And now that we're there and we're good with that, we're in the reading department. So how do we bring news literacy there? Well, literacy, duh, okay. But our department chair didn't actually see that. We kind of tried to fly under the radar in a way, but just because of the college situation. And we finally convinced her that we could incorporate this into our program in a different form. So we kind of backdoored it and created a course called Reading the New Media, Reading 103 course. And basically what that course does was focus on the 6 neighborhoods independently, but down deep inside we knew we wanted to do news. Got that up and running, and initially we focused on news in that course, but that was up and running when that was done in 2011. We started writing our second course, which is called News on the Net. And we pretty much, in our reading department, we had one course, Reading 101, Effective College Reading. It basically deals with textbooks. So this News on the Net it's where we need to be. Students don't read textbooks anymore. Nobody reads textbooks anymore. And we developed this course which focuses on news, and Cheryl started teaching, so she's our only teacher of that course. And basically what we're doing now, we're in the process of taking content out of that one course and putting it into the news course, so we're totally two separate courses.
And the idea with 103 is when we were writing it, you never say news. Every time news came up, we put in the word information, and that's kind of how we kept it, out of the other disciplines. So we focus on all the neighborhoods. That's something that we do in 103. The instruction in genre-specific critical reading skills. So with everything, of course, that we read, it was easy to justify to the reading department that kids are using reading comprehension and critical thinking skills. So that's how we got it in there. Academic and practical application. So, for example, we do an advertising unit, and this is it's such a good way to get kids to want to research and verify information, because they purchase a lot of things. They can all tell me a story when they felt unhappy with something that they purchased or outright ripped off about something. They all have a story, so we talk about researching and verifying your advertising information, so that works. We work with blurred lines. I'm sorry, I have to say, I love the blurred lines. And one time in one of my classes, I was doing an exercise with the neighborhoods, blurred line, and I said, why? And the kids said, well, I don't really know, but you just get so excited when we say it, because I just love when they do. That's when you know they're really, really thinking, when they see that the lines are blurred. Yeah, what are you gonna do? And we found what works in the class. We put the kids in teams. The same teams throughout. They don't do all of their work in teams. We do have individual exercises, but there are teams, and we have a lot of the assignments and the projects that they do in teams. That works. Competition projects involving multiple genres. We do the story over time. Truth is provisional. We do that with the teams. And then the flops, we found on enhanced lecture, we really have to have some bells and whistles going. When we're doing the lecture, insufficient time for student response and application. We have to, of course, always make sure that there's enough time for that. And the only problem is, there's so much material to cover, you can't get to everything at the end. And that's basically how 103 works. And I just wanted to jump on something that Donna said when we came here in 2009. Howie and Dean and Jim and Liz, thank you so much, because you really opened a lot of doors for us, so thanks, we appreciate it.
We're going to go on to 104, and we, when Donna and Sue came to me about this idea of writing the 104 class, I was very excited, because we teach a lot of reading skills and meta comprehension skills, but without the content. So to have content for me was wonderful. I used to have to go and say, here's a random chapter of a psychology book, let's look at that. But now all of a sudden I have this wonderful content. And what we do is we really take the news, and my students learn what all the concepts of that were taught, and just really use their comprehension strategies for it. And then we do have hands-on, and Donna will talk about the computers in our classroom as well. What I learned that works is, of course, making connections. And one of our big examples is, I can't just tell them to look at the news, and when we look at local news, I say, where are you from? Where are your parents from? Go find that country. Go find a local newspaper there that's translated in English. Look at their local news, compare and contrast it to ours. So we really make some good connections there for them. Multi-step projects always work. At a community college, we can't give them something big, even though my students range from coming out of non-credit into the honors program. So the multi-step always works. And something that's different that does not work in my class, that works in the 103 class, is I cannot keep long-term teams. And I know this is said the last few days by many people. My students have no background knowledge of the news. They know the news is on, they know it's out there, they live in their little bubble. And I have a few kids that know about the news. So what I need to do is I need to continually change the teams, because I have some students that know so much and some students that really don't know much at all. So I have to keep changing as well.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much once again to Stony Brook, because as we said the other night, the last conference 2 years ago, we were here, and a very, very lovely lady from New York Community Bank just walked up to me and said, "Can I help you? I think we can work together." I showed her we could work together. And she provided us with some money. We were able to buy 8 laptops, and we were able to give 4 $250 scholarships to our students. Our tuition's $2,000 a semester. So that was actually huge. But before that happened, we were actually teaching with an archaic smartboard and a computer that was kind of the size of this thing. And it was really god-awful. Now she's given us additional money. She just so believes in us. She loves what we're doing over there. And she's provided us with an additional 8 laptops. Our college kicked in. We're getting all new furniture. I'm buying the paint, and we've actually created a news literacy room. It should be done by August. It's been amazing, and I think that if you go out, and I think people don't understand, there is money out there, you just have to go looking for it, you really do. Our cause is so just, and if you put it out there, people are willing to help.
And this is where we're going in the future. We always, the 3 of us don't like to be stagnant, and I guess we're the mover and shakers from Nassau and what we try and do. And the college is giving out stipends for writing online courses, and I did it for one of the courses last year, and I'm going to put in for putting one of our new courses online as well this coming year. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a hybrid or fully online, but we'll figure that out. The other thing is Nassau is really big on learning communities. That way, the students have the same kids in 2 classes. It kind of works to build that at a community college, of 24,000 with no dorms. And we're looking to have a learning community with one of our classes, and either a class in communications or our NCC 101 class, which is student success class, freshman orientation.
Right, the departments are actually starting to approach us. Journalism approached us and asked if they could pair with us. And finally, I love this idea so much of taking those neighborhoods, and we are going to try, we just got approval from the dean to create now a 3rd course in which we will take 2 more of the genres, pair them up, and write an additional literacy course. And you really have to deal with that term literacy in a very, very open way, and there are so many places to go.
And we're going to call that one consumer literacy.
Consumer literacy.
Consumer literacy is our next class. So, and it's exciting, and part of our issues are, we are a reading department. We're actually called the Department of Reading and Basic Education. We have 6 non-credit courses housed in our department. So for people to want to take a reading class seems a little rudimentary to them. So we're trying to get our name out there as something a little more academic.
And ultimately, if we can change the name of the department, that would be more.
That would be wonderful too. We're working on that.
If you come up with ideas to name a reading department something other than reading, you let us know, please.
All right, we'll be very excited. Thank you.
Thanks.